at 6. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
And I'm Keith McGill. Very grateful you're staying live and local with us through 7 p.m. We're going to check in with all of our teams across the country for March Madness, but we begin on the Weather Watch tonight. A gloomy day after a day of all kinds of rain. We're taking a live look at the capital city of Hartford right now. Finally, some calm after what has been a wild day for weather.
Yes, but I'm missing the sun. Where is this sun? Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Is it going to come tomorrow at all?
I mean, there might be 10 minutes in the morning that you see it. So those 10 minutes, I want you to make the most of it, because I think the clouds kind of take over again midday through the afternoon. And overall, the next couple of days look mostly cloudy before the sun finally returns. Oh, next week. Take a look at some of the snowfall totals that we had last night into this morning. The icebox of Connecticut with just over 3 inches of heavy wet snow, 2 inches in Torrington, close to that in Canton, and Burlington close to an inch of snow. The same is true for Jeff Aborn in Staffordville. Thanks for giving us your total of just about a half an inch of snow and slush. Taking a look at the radar right now, we love to see it. Nothing on the radar here close to home, but tons of snow still coming down fast in Maine, and northern New England is looking at numerous outages from that snow weighing things down. We've got this unsettled weather, though, sticking around for the next couple of days. Winds gusting up around 20 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, and we're looking at overnight lows tonight that'll drop back near 30 as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Again, there is a chance for a little bit of sun in the morning before the clouds take over again, and an isolated sprinkle or flurry in the afternoon with highs in the 40s and a bit of a breeze. So it's breezy, it's cool, but at least we're mostly dry. I guess that's an improvement from today. We'll take a look at when the sun really returns coming up, guys.
Fox 61's coverage of Road to the Championship, sponsored by Riscassi and Davis.
Well, the UConn men's basketball team is in Arizona as they prepare for the Final Four.
Indeed, so exciting. Fox 61 Sports Director Jonah Karp joining us in Glendale. He beat the team to Arizona. We are awaiting a press conference with head coach Dan Hurley. Jonah, get us caught up here. Such an exciting time for Husky Nation.
So exciting, Keith. What's not to like? UConn men's basketball back in the Final Four for the second year in a row. And just like last year, this team has made this tournament look really, really easy. 10 straight tournament victories for UConn dating back to last season by double digits. Remarkable. The next opponent coming on Saturday in the Final Four, Alabama. And the Crimson Tide have never been in this position before. The first ever Final Four game for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So what do they think of UConn? Here's the scouting report. What have you learned about this UConn team in film study?
Yeah, they're a great team. They got a lot of plays that we got to remember. So yeah, they're very set-based, and they can get out in transition too, or they can slow it down. They're very versatile in that.
They're really talented, obviously, like a very dominant team as well. But I think that we have a good game plan to put together. They're obviously, like I said, very good with Klingon and Spencer and Newton, all the very versatile guards that they have. But I think that we're going to be ready to go.
Every team they play, they went on a big run, and they're really good on the defensive end and the offensive end. They don't look like they play fast on like the Cam Palm and numbers like that, but they are a fast transition team.
The Crimson Tide about to play their first ever game in the month of April. An amazing ride for Alabama to this point. So what do the Huskies think of the Tide? Well, Dan Hurley speaks later in the hour, in about 20 minutes or so. We'll bring that to you live on this channel. We're live in Arizona, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Very exciting, Jonah. Thank you. We have team coverage for the men and the women's trip to the Final Four, so stay with us all week long as we root on our Huskies during its road to the championship. Also, head to our Fox 61 app to submit your photos, showing off all your Huskies swag and gear. An exciting time.
All right, as we await Coach Hurley, we're going to move on to some other news tonight at 6, demanding change from big tech. Connecticut leaders and students calling for accountability and to listen to how social media has impacted their young lives.
Fox 61's Matt Karen is live for us outside Hartford Sport and Medical Science Academy tonight to take us inside that roundtable discussion. Matt.
Well, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, X, just think about all the different social media sites that you use. If you had to give them up, could you?
Thanks everyone for being here.
Gearing up for a fight against some of the world's biggest tech companies, Connecticut's federal and state political leaders held a listening session of sorts.
This will be really important for me and my lawsuit and my investigation.
They should be held accountable.
The senator and attorney general sat with students at Hartford Sport and Medical Science Academy to discuss the impact of social media on their lives, from TikTok challenges.
I came to school one Monday and we had no mirrors in our bathroom and they were all in the toilet.
To infinite scrolling algorithms that can reinforce negative emotions.
She just took my phone and for half an hour she was just scrolling. And then I saw some video she was not supposed to see.
Attorney General Tong is suing Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram.
Social, ethical, and legal obligation not to do harm to young people.
While Senator Blumenthal is sponsoring the Kids Online Safety Act, a bill with bipartisan support.
It's my major priority going into these last months of this session, and I think we have a very good chance.
One by one, students passed the mic, describing their social media experiences, both negative.
I've been trying to stop using it, stay away from it. It's actually addictive.
And positive.
I see Bible verses on TikTok. I even started to learn a little bit of Spanish on TikTok.
One student described how she hadn't explored social media until the COVID lockdowns.
I think being stuck inside was the worst thing that possibly could have happened.
Students believe the often toxic culture can lead to eating disorders, mental health concerns, and even suicide.
There's a lot of bullying.
Student Favor Ikea told Fox 61 it comes down to being a responsible consumer of information.
You have to be your own independent person, that not to let everything around you control you or influence your decisions.
And both Tong and Blumenthal told me they acknowledge there are some positive aspects to social media, especially when it comes to unlocking different cultures, travel, and connecting people. But they say that they will hold those companies accountable for all the negative elements. We're live in Hartford. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Really important conversation there. Our thanks to Matt for that. This was breaking news all morning on the Fox 61 Morning News today. An early morning fire forcing 20 people out of their homes in the capital city.
The multifamily building on Grand Street went up in flames as an overnight storm brought really strong winds, which is not a good combination when it comes to a fire. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane spent all morning out on the scene and has this update.
We watch fire crews battle this fire here on Grand Street for hours. Now you can see the extensive damage to this home, both inside and outside, and we're told 20 people are displaced. A messy scene for firefighters on Grand Street in Hartford Thursday morning. The strong wind gusts making an already difficult fire even more challenging to put out.
Conditions changed quickly because of the wind and the weather.
The flames breaking out right before 4 o'clock in the morning. A neighbor says it didn't take long for the fire to engulf the entire 3-story multi-family home.
Our blinds turned orange, so we're like, what the heck is going on? So we looked outside and the fire was literally at the front door.
Nija Saunders, who lives across the street, says she was able to help the 20 people out of the house, all who escaped with just the clothes on their backs.
And they came out with their families barefooted because, they were crying and everything, standing across the street near my house, just in shock.
Fire officials say the structure of the building also made fighting the flames difficult. Fire ripped through the balconies and the roof of the home, making areas unstable. Parts of the structure came flying off. Luckily, fire crews were able to handle the weather and structure challenges. They're grateful the spring storm didn't lead to more ice accumulation.
I mean, it makes it difficult for everybody. Thankfully, it's not really icy because that would have posed other hazards for the firefighters. So, but it makes it more difficult, and you're soaking wet.
Luckily, no injuries were reported, but the cause of this fire is still under investigation. In Hartford, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
New Haven police arresting a man allegedly involved in a deadly hit and run from over the summer. Dejan Morris of New Haven accused of hitting Jose Rodriguez, who was on his motorcycle at the intersection of Haven and Clay Street last June. Police saying Morris left the scene while Rodriguez was just laying in the street dying. Morris facing a long list of charges now.